My one advice would be, first thing, just start it, man. Don't just stop. People people don't start only. They are always thinking, we'll start one day, we'll start one day. You know how this is. So my one advice would be, start it somehow.
Our Business Blueprint series is designed for international entrepreneurs who want to move their business to the United States or Canada. Whether you're just getting started or you have an established business, we aim to help you along the way, sharing stories of amazing founders who have already done it. And if you're thinking of moving your business and your family to the United States or Canada, head over to theblueprint.com. That's zblueprint.com, and you can get started. So just, for our guests, would you want to just introduce yourself and your company?
Well, my name is Muhammad Abdul Sahkib. Okay, I'm a Middle East based guy. I have lived all my life in Saudi Arabia and in between Dubai. And I have did my education from there. And then we came to India. Hyderabad is the place where I live now. Is where all my companies are based in here. And one of my companies is by the name Spotverge. At Spotverge, we are into web development. Designing mobile applications, blockchain, crypto, and stuff like that. And apart from that, yes, I also have my own products. One of our product is a CloudZigo. A CloudZigo is also a company wherein we provide hosting services, cloud security and stuff. And apart from that, we have Word.ai, our new upcoming product, which is all AI-based text generator and a marketing tool. So yeah, that's all about me.
Fantastic. Word Ad AI, you said it's a text generator and a marketing tool. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, what AI is all about, generating text, articles, letters, and whatnot. Apart from that, it is also, will be used for image generating. All the social media posting nowadays, such as Instagram and LinkedIn. All these posts will be auto generated. All you have to do is just simply tell the AI to generate. It will give you all the option to, generate the images, text, and SEO keywords and everything. Apart from that, it will also help you generate any document, resumes, for example, and pitch decks, stuff like that.
Great. So you're telling me that in the future, what you aim to have is an AI tool generating your whole social media content schedule
Exactly.
and posting it.
Exactly. And not only that, it also help you manage your all the campaigns. Like today, if you see all the campaigns, we'll have to do it separately. Google separate, Instagram separate. So all these things will be handling by the AI under one roof. From generating the entire marketing content to managing the campaigns, the ad revenue and everything will be managed by Word AI.
That's amazing. So you're saying, let's say a guy is a plumber in Canada and he doesn't know anything about marketing, right? But he's skilled at what he does. He should be able to use your tool and just automatically create campaigns that are successful.
Correct.
Amazing. Do you have any test cases where that is being done now, or that's the plan in terms of development?
That is the plan in terms of development. At the moment, you're asking about Word AI, right? What we are doing at the
That's
moment.
correct.
At, at the moment, we have the alpha version out. In the alpha version, you will be having the text generator part, smart rewriter. I hope you know about the rewriter, right? Where the content is getting rewritten properly using different words.
Right, right.
And for that, we have the image generating process and everything. Now the further our process will be adding the video thing, the video content and making the videos happen. And apart from that, we'll be going into the campaign. So that is something we have set a goal for like next coming 6 months.
Amazing, amazing. Now, I know
Mm-hmm.
copywriting was a big, it's still actually a big field, and experienced copywriters can generate sales from their ad copy just because of how well they are at persuading the customer and creating copy that resonates with their target audience. Is that something that Word Ad AI is currently able to do well, to generate great ad copy?
Oh yes, that is why we made this, because normally what happened in the West, a lot of students need this, right? A lot of people require this kind of tool. So that is why keeping that segment, we designed this. Yes.
Amazing. All right, so I'm gonna go as in this series we really go in depth. I hope you're comfortable with that because the aim is for future entrepreneurs to be able to get an idea of what it takes to build a successful business, not just from an outside standpoint, but to understand the different business components and what we call business design. Now, a part of business design for us is mapping it to something that is relatable. So, for example, a plane or a jet is something that you see and you can relate to it, and it makes it very real. For example, if you run out of fuel in a plane in the air, you're gonna crash. It's likely you're gonna crash. It's the same thing with a startup. If you run out of money at a critical time, the business is likely to crash. And another aspect that we map is pilots, right? We look at founders like pilots. No matter how good the business is, if the founders aren't able to run it well, to understand it and run it well, it won't fly. It won't do well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the model we use. So I'm going to ask a lot of questions, and it's for our audience to better understand the intricate details of building a successful startup from an experienced founder.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, just tell me a little bit more about your team and how you met each other.
Okay.
Are you working as a solo founder or are you working with co-founders?
Well, let me tell you how we started actually. Okay, like I said, I'm a Middle East guy. Okay, I have all my life I've been lived in the Middle East part. I hope you're aware of the Middle East regions, right? The Saudi and Dubai and everywhere, right?
Yeah,
So
yes, I am.
There are a few incidents happened where we had to migrate to Hyderabad. Take for my father's. You can say for my father's treatment. Okay, he was in effect paralysis. Okay, so for that reason we came to India, and when we moved to India, we realized this is going to take a long time, okay, to him to recover. So that is we decided to start living here just to get him treated well. So yeah, I realized that point, and I started working with a very small company. Okay, it was a BPO, the call center. From there I started my journey, and then following with that call center, I got an opportunity of working with Microsoft. It's an MN. The process was Outlook. Outlook was very new thing back then. So from learning from Microsoft, I really understood the process of technology. How the sales are, how the after sales are, what technical support is all about. So from learning that, I started my own call center. We used to generate leads, and all these sales things were happening. We used to sell like PCs, from Walmart in the US. We used to sell laptops from Walmart. From then, when we understood this call center is not going to run a very long time, so then we got into technologies of development mobile apps. That is how we started. With very small little websites, like WordPress was a very new thing. We started with WordPress. Then we, started learning other technologies. We started meeting people, adding all the smart people. Your question was how I met my team. I choose one of my classmates actually. Okay, when I was in college, I got to meet one of my friend. He had something for the computers, So I just handpicked him. When I was BPO, I just handpicked him, and I asked him to learn these technologies. One day we'll work together. So he used to come to my call center. He used to just sit idle and just learn the technologies. All these technologies, PHP, JavaScript, and Oracle and stuff like that. So from there, our journey started as building websites from scratch, apart from WordPress. And then we slowly, started making mobile apps. And then we started developing CRMs, then ERPs. Then we started working for pharmaceutical companies. Then slowly we started to get US and Canada clients. Then we designed POS systems. In restaurants you go, there is a POS systems. So we used to design that. And then we realized, like, no matter how much we work, this is not going to be sufficient because the future is something else. Then we started to build something called no code. I'm sure you're aware of it. So we have our own no code things. Then we realized we'll have to make our own products, just to scale up the business, So we had a plenty of clients, but they were all using different hostings such as AWS and stuff like that. So we decided we'll build our own data center. I got a space and I started my own data center. From there, we provided our own hosting. All my clients are hosted in my company only, so it's a different entity. From there, we started to generating another revenue point. Without this is all bootstrap, by the way. We didn't raise any money.
Right, amazing.
Yeah. So after doing that, we realize if we do something which is syncing with each other, this is going to benefit us, right? So while realizing this, for the Middle East market, we started developing POS. A lot of restaurants are there, so we used to sell POS and stuff, CRMs and ERPs. Then this AI was a boom. We read about AI. We have to do something for the AI thing. So that is how we started developing Word.ai. And now, we have enough traction. We have about like 200 active users at the moment, and it is just 20 days old. 20 days only.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just last week only, we didn't have we didn't even thought to, what would be the revenue model. We were just testing around. We just want product fit thing, a market.
Right.
Just 10 days back, I just linked my Stripe gateway, and we are hoping for a revenue also, so that we can raise some funds and expand it even further. That's the plan.
That's amazing. That's an interesting journey. Back to that thing that we said, no matter how great a jet is, no matter how great a plane is, it can't fly without great pilots.
Yep.
How important has your team been towards bringing you the success that you've found so far?
Well, see, if you ask my opinion, a great team is definitely important, but also, like you said, a captain has that thing in him who can run the plane. No matter how much good crew you have, if the captain is not good, he will end up, crashing the plane.
Right.
All about
right. That's true.
Sometimes teams also messed up a lot of things. In my career, there have been a lot of setbacks. Which was done by my team, but we had to come back. That's how we.
Right.
And especially in our line of business, where technology is concerned, how clients are very skeptical, because the market is huge. There is a huge competition in our market today, if you see, because anybody can become a developer. How easy it is, right? YouTube and Google,
right.
Anybody a developer. Anybody can design anything today. It's all free. So
right.
Today, we have to be very, very relevant. There has to be a certain guidelines. We keep that very straight in our team. If there is a huge project, if one of my team is not able to pull it off, we don't take it. That's as simple as it is.
All right. So I know you have multiple businesses. We're gonna zoom in on Word.ai a bit.
Okay.
Just so that it's relatable to new founders who they're starting from scratch.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So just a quick question regarding you and your team.
Okay.
It's something called the hedgehog concept. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's pretty popular though and good to great. But
okay.
The concept was, okay, let's get a great team together.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can check that book out, by the way. Good to Great's an amazing book. I'm not related. I don't get paid to promote it, but it's an amazing book. Right?
What is it called?
It's called Good to Great.
Okay, Good to Great. Okay.
Right. Okay. So in the book, they highlight something called a hedgehog concept, right?
Yeah.
So it's after you get a great team together,
mm-hmm.
You get the right people on the bus. The next thing is to figure out, okay, where are we gonna get this thing to? So one of the questions they ask is, what are you passionate about? And the second thing they ask is, what can you be the best in the world at?
Mm-hmm.
And then 3, what drives your economic engine? Because when you get all those 3 together, you're in an amazing place because you love what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're poised to be the best in the world at it, and it makes you money. It's kind of like the 3 things that anybody would dream of: doing what they love, being the best in the world at it, and making a lot of money doing it. So I'll ask you that, right? What in terms of you and your team, Word.ai, what are you passionate about?
Well, what are we passionate about? Well, to be honest, when we make products, it's weird also. We don't think like that. What are we passionate about? It's all about what are we thinking at the moment. I'll just tell you, like, just 2 months back, I was in Saudi. Okay. 2 months back in Saudi, I realized there is a problem. I'll tell you what was the problem. Mostly the migrants are working in Saudi. Okay. Like Saudi people are very less working over there. Okay, so the problem what I
Mm-hmm.
kind of realize is a lot of bosses, they have a huge complaint with their admins and their content writers, their what do you say,
Mm-hmm.
social media handlers, even they check for if even if there is a grammatical mistake or even if a small alphabet is missing, they had to strike the entire content, so that's the point when I realized, and it was just a random conversation I was having with my tech team. Okay, this is before chat gpt, I'm telling you. I just
Mm-hmm.
told them back then, what if we develop something? If we just tell the few things to the AI and AI generates a lot of content and all these graphics, is that a possibility? Because if that happens, what kind of an ease we can provide to all these employees and people working in the corporates, especially. That's
Mm-hmm.
the entire goal, just to make the work easy. That was the passion.
Mm-hmm.
We never thought about something of revenue. Even today as we speak, I'm spending, I'm spending money on Word AI. People are using.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the passion, man. The passion is, the product you make, people should use it. That's it.
I understand. It really started with identifying the problem, and you're passionate about creating products that people will use. Uh, no, this is sometimes a difficult question for some founders because uh, it it really takes you to a place where you have to specialize, right? But what do you see you and your team being the best in the world at?
Well, see, I'll tell you, I'm already working with a lot of young people now. Okay, I really don't find them still the best, to be honest. But yeah, I could say that we are good at few things, like designing, providing technical solutions. We are really good at doing that. I like to believe that, like a lot of my clients also say that. So when they come up, when a client come up to you, he comes with just a pen and paper, and an idea in mind. And that is our thing. We have to get the entire, his imagination onto the screen, just to make sure we both are on the same page. Our job is to ease his entire process using the technology. So that is the best part, what we really managed to do, still today, which is very relevant.
Right. And for Word Ad AI, what do you think? What do you see as driving your economic engine? I realize now you have a subscription model,
Yeah.
and do you see that as the way forward in terms of, subscriptions and tokens? And can you just explain that a little bit so we can understand how it works and,
uh,
why you chose that choice?
when
That
you just sign
right.
when you just sign up Word Ad AI, it automatically gives you like 3,000 tokens, which is pretty much enough you to learn, understand, what this is. And this is basically, like I said, it's an alpha version. Okay, so we
Mm-hmm.
all we wanted to do is get the feedback from the users. What are the pain points? What are the things they like or not? Just for that purpose, we designed the entire alpha version, and still it is live today. And the
Mm-hmm.
but coming to the tokens part, yes, after a few searches, there is an expenses involved in the business, because we are also paying to the APIs and third parties that we are working with. So there is a
Mm-hmm.
definitely a revenue model to it. So we just understood, and we need to cut the cost.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut the cost, and we started with like $10. That's the minimum we could do.
Right.
Just imagine, man, like in $10 you can do what not.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And I get it makes sense because if you think about it, let's say you're hiring an experienced copywriter or proofreader, you're probably paying at least 1,200 US per month.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Even
so
let's
it's a
let's
significant.
assume, because in the US normally people ask per hour, per hour or per day. That's what they charge. So even they per charge is like what, $25-$30 minimum. Like
Per hour,
up
and
per
you're charging less
less
per
than
month.
that.
All right, great. All right, so I want to understand. So we covered your team and what you're passionate about, and we've identified your hedgehog concept, which is you're passionate about creating amazing products,
Mm.
and you see yourself being the best at the world, best in the world at mapping that customer need
Mm-hmm.
to the technical solutions that you provide,
Yeah.
and you see a subscription model with somewhat of a trial stage being that thing that will consistently drive your economic engine. Now, I just want to understand a bit more about the wider marketplace, because once again, like flying a jet, if there's a lot, if there's nowhere to fly it, that a startup can take off. But if there is airspace, especially if the airspace isn't a very competitive, because where you find when you're in a very competitive space, no matter how good your product is, there's just significantly more spend in terms of getting the customer's attention, being able to scale up and grow that business, right? So I wanted to understand a bit more about your airspace, your competitors, and how do you see yourself differentiating from everyone else who is pursuing AI tools at the moment?
Well, yeah. See, that is a very good question. I would say, like like I said, I live in India now. Okay, in Indian market, we are just using the AI tools coming from the West. Coming from Singapore. We don't have in the AI segment. We don't have anything in India till date. Yeah, it is. It is the truth. I don't know. Maybe after this podcast, people listening to you, they might just go and make one. But a lot of AI tools. I'll tell you, AI is something people are not really understanding it. Like everybody's experimenting with it. We are not yet there. People are still, they are kind of exploring it. They are learning for it. Because and also a lot of what is happening is a lot of countries are also banning the open AI. If you have that kind of knowledge, right? So we have to make the product very rightly. We cannot keep everything on open source. Security and privacy is a very major concern in every country you go today. So these are the factors that we have really focused on. And apart from that, you ask about our competitors. Our competitors, let me tell you, Canva is something you said right while we were chatting yesterday. Canva and Microsoft, and yes, there are few companies who are really getting into this space with all everything. But see, in my opinion, competition is always good.
So I see. I studied in Canada, and a lot of my classmates were actually from India,
Okay.
and that's right. That's where I learned that there are a lot of different languages in India.
Yeah, there
A
are.
lot of different languages. No, I understand that that may actually be the deterrent for someone who is not natively from
Mhm.
India
Okay.
to enter the space in terms of developing language models and being effective at that. I think what I'm hearing from you is that yes, there's a lot of competition in the West for AI, but in India there's virtually none. And you being able to be there natively to speak the languages, uh, you can develop a solution that is tailored for India far faster than the competition would be able to do that. And then maybe in the future someone might actually just try to acquire your startup versus trying to develop that from scratch. Is
Yeah.
that the vision that you have?
No. Well, let me tell you, we really want to expand and take this to every part of the world. That is what we thought. We never thought to sell it, and yeah, definitely, man. There has to be some financials. There has to be certain revenue models attached to it because we really look forward to expand it. And in today's world, it's unfortunate, but yes, the reality is we need to have capital, great capital, to take it to other places, to show the demos, to let
Right.
the people use it. That is how you get accepted. We cannot just go to
Right.
the country and ask them to just use it, and that it doesn't happen. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So yeah, they are. Our need is a capital. Yes, we will definitely raise some capital. But yeah, selling the entire startup, no, that I don't see it happening.
Happening. Okay. So the what I'm seeing as a competitive advantage in your space is being first to market in India, being able to scale in that market, and then from there to scale to different countries. But your main thing is security. And how are you treating the different languages, or is it that it's just English that you're focusing on right now?
Oh, no, no, no. We are adapting about 18 languages. We are training our AI engine. We are also we are taking also the help of OpenAI, and that is how we are training right now. One of my client is in South Africa. He's a Somalia basically. Okay, Somali is a total different language. So we started to add that language to our AI, because in Somalia I see there is a huge market. Yeah. So that is how we are making small changes and trying to experiment things.
Okay, okay. I see some differentiation there. It's not just about, and a tool that you can experiment and get um, great information from. It's a productivity tool, especially for marketers and students who are able to use your tool to generate great copy in multiple languages, over 18 languages. So yeah, I see where that can be very effective, especially if you have case studies showing where this is where we paid a copywriter $25 per hour to generate ad copy, and these were the results from the campaigns. This is what we use this is what the results from Word Ad AI were, and testing them in different campaigns, and to show how you achieved comparative results with a significantly less budget. That I think is amazing.
Yep.
So we're gonna dive a little bit more in terms of your passengers, and we like to call customers passengers because we have to first find where they are, pick them up.
Okay.
They have to trust us enough to jump on our
Yeah.
our jet, because
Yeah.
the truth is a lot of times startups try to market and sell to customers,
Yeah.
and we don't really empathize and look on, from the outside, would we travel on that plane?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's dive in. So first of all, about your passengers, your customers, how would you describe your ideal customer? Their interests, their pains, fears, and passions.
See, mostly I would say startups. I see my ideal customers as startups, because startups are someone, like especially founders like us. Okay, they don't have that kind of freedom to spend money on everything. Okay, they need to job done at a very minimal cost. And the quality shouldn't be compromised. So startups are someone I really find them ideal for Word Ad AI. I'm not saying the used and established brands cannot, but like you mentioned, ideal ones. So yeah, startups are someone who I really think, because they are ready to experiment, because anyhow it's not going to cost them a whole world, right? All they have to just spend a little money.
Right. That's fair. Someone on a budget, more than likely a startup founder
Yeah.
who needs quality,
Yeah.
but they are on a budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Now, how did you go about like that discovery process in terms of, first of all, identifying their situation, their pain point, and what that means for them? How did you go about that discovery process?
See, normally I myself was a startup. I came to India with a product. Okay, I couldn't find a good technology company who could build a product. Forget about marketing. My product was not good. So I really know the struggles a founder have. Okay, I know how the things are here in India. So from my ideology only, we pick our clients, and that is how we understand what are the problems are. Normally I tell you, a lot of startups reach to us. Okay, I'm an angel investor too. I fund startups as well. Okay, so that is how we understand a lot of problems. Meeting a lot of founders, going to communities and going to events. You meet a lot of people, especially young people. They really have a thing for marketing. There are people who have a huge budget for marketing, but if you say the end result, it's zero. They don't end up making their needs as well after
Right.
burning a lot of cash as well, I'm telling you. So yeah, this is the moment when such tool has to come in and ease out the game. So our people at least they have a space of the startup. At least their startup is moving the place they want,
Right.
without burning a lot of cash.
Is it that I'm just diving in a bit more in terms of the customer problem and how you you're just a discovery process. Is it that some of these startups, they're not very knowledgeable on marketing as well and need the assistance of the AI to actually help them to create somewhat of a marketing strategy, or it's just the ad copy?
See, what I understood is a lot of startup founders, they really don't have any knowledge about. It's all about hearing few podcasts. Nowadays it's all about Instagram reels. The knowledge is
Right.
coming from there. But there is nobody to there is no accurate solution. Nobody can tell that this, if you do this, this can happen. It's still a gambling for people sitting in the marketing business. They really don't have any idea unless they come and dive it, and when they do it, they understand how this is.
So, do you think that positioning, Word Ad AI as a digital marketing strategist would help these startups? So not just saying, "Hey, tell me what you want to say, and I'll help you to say it better," but tell me what you're trying to achieve. Tell me the market you're looking at. Okay, what is the product that you're offering or the service? Okay, all right. Tell me more about who you're trying to reach, and then taking all of these questions and then outputting an effective digital marketing strategy, then helping them along the way to accomplish that. Do you see that as
maybe going further? But what I understood is people doesn't like anyone asking them questions. We have to
okay.
very user friendly.
Right.
People, it's what do you say, it's a general perception. Okay, if you go to a website and if it's asking you a lot of questions, you end up closing it. Too many questions.
Right. That's
too much
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'll tell you, brother. You just go to Word.ai, okay? Just go to Word.ai, just log in. You don't see anything, okay? It's all real business. It's no nonsense. It's a very clean UI. Even if you are not a computer tech savvy guy, you will understand what is this.
All right. So, quick question. I wanted to understand your customer journey, because what I hear you emphasizing a lot is you're catering to founders. And I like that, because a lot of times startups, they don't really have an idea of who their ideal customer is. When you're designing a business, you really, especially when you're just starting out, you don't want to be trying to create a tool for everybody.
Yeah.
Even though that might be the plan in the future, you really want to be very clear about who your customer is as a person, as an individual, and not just an idea of their problem. Because when you understand who they are, you can truly empathize with them. And I like the fact that you said, look, this is created for founders. And I also am a founder. I know the pains.
Yeah.
So this is for people like me, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a bit more about the customer journey. First of all, how do they move from realizing that they have a problem to discovering you, and then 3, joining you or allowing you to join them on their journey as a passenger of your product?
See, it's all very well connected. Okay, I'll tell you my first company by the name Spotverge, okay, which I run.
Right.
Spotverge is all about designing, development, deployment, it's all about that. And coming to my company, CloudZico, like I said, CloudZico is all about hosting, managing the server, securities, all the Cloudflare does. That's all. And the Word.ai is my third product. Normally what happens, a person Googles, a lot of people Google here. Google us, okay, they come to us, they let us know about their startup, they want to develop a product. Make a mobile application. Okay, once a mobile application is made, the startup is ready, we launch it. Now comes the marketing. For the marketing, they again come back to us. What am I supposed to do? This is the kind of budget I have. These are the problems. They come. And from that point, we used to handle the campaigns. We did a few marketing for people, but then we realized it's not working out because we are developers. We are not marketing people. We good technology guys, not these campaign handlers. Okay. So that's when we realize if we develop this thing, now it's very easy for us. We have a great clientele here. Okay. All we ask them to do is, instead of physically, reaching out to, marketing agencies, why not try here? Just come to Word.ai, try few things, And if even if it is doing a 10% job, forget about 90%. Even if it is doing 10% of your job, I like to believe I made something worthwhile.
Okay, so what I'm understanding from the customer journey is it didn't just start from saying, "Hey, try my product."
No.
It came from customers,
Exactly.
right, searching for software development firms, and then they would come across yours, and then after they got the software developed, they need hosting, so they come to you, and then it's like, okay, I have this product, it's online, how do I market it? They'll come back to you, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
Because,
I have this. So
brother, I tell you,
that's a pretty cool.
it's all about building a bond. It's all about building a trust. Okay, when I can make
Right.
website is all about your entire business. Okay, like for example, if a person is running an e-commerce, his e-commerce is his entire business, right? When I make
Right.
the entire business, surely you trust me.
Right.
Right.
You're not a
My
stranger.
hosting.
They know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, brother. See, when you're even using my hosting, when your entire business is hosted on my servers, then the person really really trusts me, right? So using one of the
Right.
product is a very cakewalk. If I go to everybody and just tell them to just try Word Ad AI, they won't do it.
Right.
This is much more easier. It makes sense.
What I love about your approach, it's truly customer centric.
Mhm.
It's not, I'm gonna just jump on the next trend, and AI is booming, let me just jump on AI.
It doesn't work.
Right. It's more of, hey, let me figure out this person, and I'm gonna help them all the way. I'm gonna help them from developing a product.
Yep.
Then I'm gonna help them to host the product,
Yep.
a technology product, and then I'm gonna help them with marketing. I'm committed to help them all the way to get where they want to go.
Yep.
They're my passenger from beginning to end.
Yeah.
And I'm just developing solutions around that. I
Yep.
love that.
That's what I'm doing.
I love that. Okay, so let me just go. I wanted to speak directly to the solution now. Word at AI, we've been learning a lot about it. In terms of your positioning, usually in customers, and it's kind of like aircraft as well. Either we're prioritizing speed, or we're prioritizing luxury, or we want a very affordable solution. So we prioritize economy, or sometimes it's a combination of two factors. What would you say is your positioning for Word at AI in terms of, is it about speed? Is it about having the best, had the luxury of having all the resources at your fingertips, or it's about being able to do something well in an affordable way?
Well, see, to answer your question, I would like to say it's a combination of all, because like you said, you're also a founder, right? So you really understand the pain of giving a job, giving not a job, giving giving a task to someone outsourcing, okay, and then following it with him, and reaching out to him, getting the updates, how that process is like, right? Have you developed it?
Right.
It's all, this is all gone now. With just 5 seconds or less than 5 seconds, you will have your product ready. If you don't like it, just click refresh, design something else. It will design something else. If you don't like it, if you have something in your PC, just drag and drop it. It will change the backgrounds. This is it.
That's the amazing thing with technology. You're not limited to what other persons like. If you were just another copywriter, yeah, maybe you could do it cheaper, maybe you could do it faster, maybe you could be more convenient. But with this technology, you're able to do all three. You're getting it faster.
Yeah.
The convenience is there, and you're getting it a lot cheaper.
Yeah. There is no third party involved. It's all you. It's all between the company. That's it.
Okay, all right, we have a little thing we call the UPC test. It's usually to identify the different components of a solution and how well it matches our customer. It helps us to measure market fit, right? From just a utility standpoint, just utility in terms of this is the problem that it solves. What would you say is the utility of Word Ad AI for a startup founder who needs help with digital marketing?
See, I wouldn't say only digital marketing. It can be, it can do a lot of things. It's just not digital marketing. Even it can write anything, any article. It can generate posts for you. It can go for your social media. It can do your personal stuff as well. It can write love letters for you. Anything it can do. We have given all those options. And it is very UI, and it is so clean that anybody can understand. Any age group can use it. It's not only for young people. Okay, any age group member can just come onto the Word AI platform. They will understand it. Okay, now like you said, we will be putting some demo videos, case studies and stuff like that, just to make it even more easier. So our utility, I would say, yes, apart from digital marketing, it's a very user friendly AI text generator which can generate anything you ask for.
Okay, I think I understand the utility. In terms of the personality, I see where we've been emphasizing that this is for founders, and founders love technology solutions, especially technology startup founders. So I see where there's a match there. In terms of the culture, though, and this is something sometimes startups forget. Yes, something can be useful, the utility can be great, yes, it can match the personality of your audience. However, if there's a problem in terms of the culture or how would others see me using this product, if there isn't a fit there, that can be problematic. I know that there has been concerns about AI and security.
Yep.
How do you treat that in terms of culture? Like, for example, let's say I generate some copy and or something personal, and then it finds its way in someone else's response. How do you address the culture concerns, especially around security?
See, what we always use is something called encryption. How this WhatsApp works. WhatsApp chats are all encrypted. Nobody can see it. Nobody can respond.
Right.
All between you and the company. Unless there is a law force team involved, nobody can get into that. So it's just like that.
Right.
Everything is encrypted. We are using so many files
Okay.
that even as a company admin, I cannot see it. Let's
Okay,
do.
that's cool. Okay, great. All right, so let's jump right into your marketing and sales, because no matter, it's just like a jet. Like, no matter how great that thing is, if it has no engine, it's staying on the ground. You can't get it off the ground. If your engine goes in mid-air, both engines go. If it's more than one, that plane is going down. And it's the same for marketing and sales in terms of businesses. So I just wanted to understand a bit more in terms of your marketing and sales process. What kind of funnels do you use? I know you attributed your consultation earlier, or consultancy earlier, and how it helped to drive leads. Is that the only funnel that you're using now? So that's you develop a platform, you host it,
Yep.
and then that's the funnel right now.
That's the only thing. We don't spend money on any marketing. We don't do the Google ads and stuff. No, we don't. We always like to get this tool used on our own clients first, and then when we get certain satisfaction, chalo, we are doing something great. Yeah. At that point, we reach out to media channels, and that is something we are planning in our next stage, when when our product is 100% ready for the beta version.
Okay. How do you imagine scaling it up though? Because I understand now it's testing, it's getting, it's being organic in terms of the marketing, but at some point you want to scale up to 200,000 users.
Yep.
What do you imagine to be your funnel for scaling that up, or scaling up to that point?
It's going to be word of mouth. If my product is doing good, it will speak for himself. We don't need to what do you say, force people to use it. If it is really doing good, you know it. That's a simple thing.
Okay, so you might have somewhat of an affiliate situation where persons are rewarded for recommending
Yeah, that's
the
what
product to out
that,
difference.
what you call that, the referral thing, the tree thing. Yeah, you will have that.
Right. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and that's true. Like, if you create an amazing product and you please a core demographic, and let's say you start with 200 users, and they go on to become evangelists
Yeah.
for your product, you can grow pretty quickly. That strategy has been used by a lot of startups. Dropbox, a lot of
A lot of
startups. I believe that's how
Slack is also
Hotmail, Slack, right? Slack is one. Wise, Hotmail, I think that was their core strategy, that
Zoho.
having that
Of Zoho Mail and Zoho.
Zoho.
These guys also, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a pretty cool strategy, creating something amazing, not just focusing on growing quickly.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. In terms of sales and marketing, on that, try to get customer market fit 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Create an amazing experience,
Yeah.
and then reward your customers for sharing that experience.
See, it's
And
very simple, man.
yeah,
See, now we are using Google Meet. Why are we using Google Meet when we have a lot of other options?
right.
Google never market Google Meet. They never asked me to use this. I was the one.
Yeah,
I left Zoom. I left everything. Okay. I started using because I like it. It's very easy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a well-designed product.
Yeah.
Well-designed product. I love that. Okay, so I'm gonna ask this now, and this is usually embarrassing for some founders, but it's okay. That's how we learn. Tell me about a time when you massively failed
Mm-hmm.
at an ad campaign or a project,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want you to tell me a time when you experienced unbelievably great results you just weren't anticipating.
Mm, well, well, these are the things we usually don't talk about. But
That's true.
you know,
That's true.
founders, learning stage, they should know it. There are multiple failures I had. It's not that I haven't one, but the one actually, I'll tell you something very recently what happened. Okay, like I also said, I develop mobile applications. We have a technology company, correct? So someone from LinkedIn in the US, San Francisco, okay, they contacted us from LinkedIn actually. Okay, they wanted to make a social media app for no, I'm sorry, not it was not a social media. It was all about a LinkedIn only, a LinkedIn, but just for Hollywood. Okay, they wanted to build a LinkedIn only for entertainment industry, just like a LinkedIn is more like a corporate, for employees and what do you say, techies and stuff, right?
Right.
So they wanted to build a LinkedIn which is good for only entertainment, just like actors, singers, all the artists. They wanted to make a
Right.
LinkedIn with us. We signed the contract with them. I'm not going to tell you the
Right.
numbers, okay, if that is okay.
Oh, that's I completely
All
understand.
right.
That's okay.
So yeah, we received the advance as well. Okay, we started working on the project. Okay, it was an Indian American guy. Okay, let me also tell you, living in San Francisco. So yeah, we started making the project. We designed the prototype, and he liked it. Everything was working very nice. Okay, and one day what happened? This guy comes in and suddenly he says, I have a team member who is also in India. Okay, so she's going to what do you say? She's going to lead this project now. Okay, now you understand. See, as a company, when we are involved in making something, and when again you have a person to answer, okay, that becomes
Right.
chaos situation. You know how that?
Right.
Because you are the guy who's paying me, I'm answerable to you. Correct.
Right.
Okay, if the product is not right, if there is any issue, I'll be answerable to you. But this guy wanted us to deal with this lady who is also a developer.
Oh.
So my concern, and she was also working for a very reputed corporate. I'm not going to name it. So
Right.
if she's a developer, she knows her job, then why not she only make it?
Right.
Are you understanding? So
Yeah.
I tell you what happens, brother. In corporate, like if you go to a corporate, they have a what do you say? They have a structure. Everything is on. What do you say? They have a code of development. Okay, they have everything on.
Right.
It's all. What do you say? I'm not even able to recall that word. But
Yeah, they have a framework that they work with,
have their
which might not be yours.
exactly. They have their own framework.
Right.
They have, what do you say, that they have their screen meetings every day happening. They have like every day they need updates. So they have
Right.
kind of an environment. In my company, see, we are a small company. I'm not a Facebook. I'm not a LinkedIn, right? I have hardly about 10-15 developers. Great people, right? They
Right.
have a very gorilla style. I hope you know the gorilla style, right?
Right.
So we are used to such environment. So I had to leave the project just because I didn't wanted to what do you say? I didn't wanted to have a bad impression on him. I left the project. I refunded him the entire money. Though I worked 1 month continuously, we developed prototype. I didn't charge him any money. Okay. So what
Right.
I learned from that project was, every time you sign a contract, just make sure, contracts are very nice, money is good, but things can change, anything can happen.
Right.
That was
So,
my
oh,
a very recent failure, just like what 4 months back. I'm telling you, 4 months back. Yeah.
right. And I mean, that's how we learn. I like that. And sometimes it's hard to share our failures because it takes being vulnerable to say, hey, I messed up there. But no, I learned something. And that is, it's great to get these contracts. It's great to run and sign these. But what are the terms? Will it fit? Would it be a fit for your company?
I'll tell you,
You know?
I refunded him. It was a huge money. Okay, I refunded him, and we were kind of a sad. When this happened, it was a New Year time. By the December ending. December ending
Right.
happening, and people are celebrating New Year, and we all are crying. That was.
Wow.
And see, it's what I learned from there. Now, whenever I get a call from corporate, the first thing I tell them, is there a scrum process? Is there a corporate structure? Are you guys going to come and overpower us? This is my question.
Right.
If you want me to develop a good product, I need my freedom, so my team can work.
Right.
If you take away that freedom, no matter you pay me a $1 million, it's not going to work out.
Right. Right.
That's the word.
Yeah, I like that lesson. All right, so now on the positive side, tell me about a time when you got amazing results you weren't even expecting. It was just unexpected, but you got an amazing result or landed an amazing client or something. You weren't planning for it. It just happened. Beyond what you could imagine.
There are multiple times it happens. So I'll give you one first of mine experience. Okay, like in terms of revenue also, right?
Yeah, in terms of revenue as well.
All right, so yeah, I'll tell you what happened. When I came to India, and startup, everybody was saying this startup thing, right? So
Right.
designed a product, okay, and we didn't have developers, we didn't have any resources, but still from here and there, we learn, and like I said, we somehow made our product, okay, and it was all about social commerce. This product was all about e-commerce and marketplace. This was all about that. And
Right.
I had an investor who promised me about $100,000 from US, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what he said, if you develop this product in about instead of, like, he gave me a time of 6 months, but he said, if you develop this product in 2 months, I'll pay you $300,000.
Okay.
That was the deal, okay. So
Right.
we learned everything, and we took some time off. Like by 2 months we designed the entire project. Like since it's a marketplace, how the admins are, super admins are, partners.
Right.
You need to design everything from scratch. And the guy really loved it. Everything was cool. And one day he just stopped he just stopped taking my calls.
Oh wow.
Okay, he stopped taking my calls. One thing, I wasted my money, my time, and everything. He stopped taking my calls. And after like 2 months, he comes to me and tell ki someone passed away. Okay. And after like 4 months, he come back to me, and then he says ki no, like it's good, I'm not interested in it. So chalo, cut short, come to the present part. This was like 3 years back. Now what happened, I used to always think it, we wasted our time. A lot of time was wasted, money was wasted, nothing, we couldn't do anything, right? Because when you design certain things, and then one guy comes into the place and he says he changes everything, right? He changes everything, so we cannot even use it in India. So all we did,
Right.
we can delete the product. It was still under my pipeline. One day a client comes in, okay, randomly out of the blue. He just comes in
Right.
with a good amount of cash, okay, and he is ready to buy it.
Okay.
And for the same money, this guy wanted to invest.
He just came and bought it.
He just bought it.
That's
I'll tell
amazing.
you who is it. It's a very big pharmaceutical company. It's a pharma company, Indian
Right.
pharma company based in UK. The
Right.
they are into making vaccines and call Paul this sort of tablets. So they entirely
Right.
bought our program and they gave the money. At that day, I realized nothing goes in waste if you keep it.
N-
You
Nothing
just
goes to waste.
you just have to stick around, things turn around.
I love that. I love that. And on that note, we're approaching the 1 hour mark,
Mhm.
but I just wanted us to. I love that lesson, by the way.
Mhm.
But what I'd want you to share is, what advice would you give to a startup founder who's just starting out, and they're interested in technology, they're interested in creating um,
Mhm.
a business, and they have no experience, no knowledge, they just want to start out. What advice would you give them?
See, my one advice would be, first thing, just start it, man. Don't just stop. People people don't start only. They are always thinking, we'll start one day, we'll start one day. You know how this is. So my one advice would be, start it somehow. And the second advice would be, stop listening to other people's story, man. Everybody has a different story, and it's all fake. Hard work and things definitely pays off, and trust and these all things has to be there. The only advice is, somehow start it, you know, get it going. I know it's been a roller coaster ride. It will be definitely be a roller coaster ride anyhow. And the other thing is, funding is not the solution for everything. Bootstrap companies are also really doing well.
Right.
People always think funding. If we get the funding, we'll do this, we'll do that. Funding is a trap if the product is not right.
Right. Right. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So just get started,
Yeah.
because a lot of times we get stuck in analysis paralysis. We're trying to find the best way to move forward. Just get started, and appreciate your journey, because everybody's journey is different.
Yep.
Right. And ensure that you have a good product, you have product market fit before you start to seek funding. Bootstrap. Find a way to get market fit, because funding can be a significant drawback if you're not ready, and if your product isn't ready and your team isn't ready. So I love that.
Yeah, man,
I
that's
love that.
truth. I'll tell you, founders, they do a lot of brainstorming. They come up with a great idea, correct? They work on it, okay? They want to expand the idea. Now they understood they need funding. So the entire ideas, entire idea goes into some other place, and now they have a new startup to raise money. Their entire brains are
Right.
going to raise money only. They forget about their product.
Right.
The entire operation is all about raising money. That's now how it works,
Right.
right?
That's true. That's true. All right. I'm so happy we could share in this way. I think it will be extremely beneficial towards startups. But before we go, and we're gonna wrap up now, but before we go, I just want you to share, how do you go about, this is for our audience, especially because there'll be a lot of founders there. How do you access Word Ad AI? How do you access your services if they need development services? And how do they find you on social media and get started, in terms of connecting with you and your company?
All right. So for using the Word Ad, you'll have to visit www.wordad. It's very simple. Words and ads. So we keep it Word and Ad. Wordatai.com. And to reach to me, you can write me an email, ceo@spotwatch.com, or you can just find me at spotwatch.com, or you can Google about me. My name is Mohd Sahkib, Mohd Sakhib from Hyderabad, India. For any queries, you have my new friend on the podcast on the other side. He's been an amazing host. You can also text him.
Thanks a lot, Mohammed. It was a pleasure having this conversation. It's so refreshing when you hear, the core startup principles. It's not any fluff. It's just the good, the bad, the ugly, the truth. And, this is how you get it done.